Hey guys, RC Racer 328 here again. Um, Today we're going to do a review of the Kyosho mp9 tki3. I've been driving this car for about 6 months now, and it's been the best 6 months out of my entire, um, 9 years of involvement in RC. Um, so first of all, just gonna take out the body clips to get a little bit of ahead of the game here. So what this video is going to be about is how the car handles, price, because I know a bunch of people don't want to buy Kyosho because they're expensive or whatever, so I'll go more into depth on that, of why it's expensive or why certain things are how they are, and so you guys can get a little bit better perspective. Some setup things like tuning options and whatnot, some stuff that I don't know what the hell the purpose would be. Or if they just stuck it in there because it might be able to be used and it reduces weight or so, I don't know. So yeah, let's get started. As you well know, if you're a Kyosho fan, you know that this is not the stock original tki3 body. The original one was the tki2 WC, the World Championship body, and it was real slender and gross, more mid-cab. This is the high downforce cab forward body. But honestly, it's not that far cab forward as you can see. It's still got a whole lot of room on the hood area there. And mind me, guys, before I start in on this, none of the stuff that I've gotten here is going to be part of the review, like the engine, pipe, manifold, servos, anything like that. That's not going to be in the engine. This is solely the car. Alright, so one good thing is what I'm doing right now is they got these little Velcro things, actual Velcro spots in the car. Instead of just having to put it on the side guard, they've actually got a spot milled out for it, which is awesome. Gives a little bit better area to stick on. The downside to the body, and the way that Kyosho does it, is the nose. It's a little bit difficult to get out sometimes or in, but it does look nice with the nose on there, I must admit. Let's get this off there. So, Kyosho does offer a light body, a lightweight, and a heavier duty body, the 1 millimeter thick body. But this is the light one. I have a heavy one in there, all painted up and ready to go. So what you can see is the car stock is amazing. These are the towers that come on it. The only difference between these towers and the hard towers are the anodizing. There is nothing different about them, and they don't have any suspension characteristic differences, actually. They might be a little bit stiffer, but it's so minuscule you wouldn't even notice because the anodizing is so thin as it is anyway. The air filters. This is a big thing that I had with Losi, is Losi, their air filters are real small, and the way that they're facing and stuff, I don't know what they were thinking or whatever, but this does not get dirty very easy. This is a whole day of running at Palm Desert RC. Whole day, two qualifiers, a practice, a 7-minute practice or something like that, and a 30-minute main event. So that was a 25 or 30-minute main event, and so that's pretty freaking good for a one air filter for the entire day. As you can see, it's got plenty of room. It's not real packed in here with the equipment that I've got, which is not much different than any other equipment, but you can see nice, good mudguard area all the way around the entire car. This is the newer tki3 radio tray with the battery mounted up front. It used to be mounted in the back here, and this is a good upgrade from the tki2 because it kind of levels out the car a little bit more. makes it a little bit more air control probably, and that type of stuff. So this has got plenty of options, just like any other buggy, for tow and kick up and anti-squat and all that type of stuff. The shocks, as people well know, Kyosho is like known for their shocks. So I've been extremely impressed with these. I rebuilt the seals. I didn't need to. I just did it because it was the end of the season and I thought I should. Just to know that's when I redid them. The parts wear on this thing is really good. I haven't broken a single part on this car yet. No arms. I cracked an arm, and I'll show you exactly where it was. It was actually right there. If I can make it focus here. It was right where the droop screw is. And actually this is an aftermarket droop screw that I had because it has a bigger head on it, and so it wears away at the chassis a little bit less. That's one of the problems with this car, is that the chassis wear on it for the droop screw's pretty bad on the front at least. But whatever, you know, it's not like a make or break for the car, you know. These are not the stock uprights. These are the aluminum uprights. They're a little bit more rigid. That add a little bit more strength to the front. They don't have as much, well, they don't have any slop, I should say, and they don't really get slop because they're aluminum. You know, the Kyosho Japanese machined aluminum, blah blah blah. I've got the hard anodized balls on here, which are aluminum, compared to the stock steel balls. So that all the balls on this thing are all done. And it reduces a lot of the weight. That's a big thing. That little stuff, but if you add it up and then weigh it, it's actually a pretty big difference. I've got the hardened aluminum. Can't focus. Shock standoffs. These once again are a big thing. Also because they're really up high. There's one thing I was really concerned about, was that it's a lot of the weight up high, so I tried to minimize as much weight as I could. I do compared to the stock steel ones. I do not have the titanium hinge pins, two things, because I think it's actually better to have the heavier steel down low. So this inside, and then once again on this side. You keep a lot of the weight down low, which is kind of where you want it, to almost counterbalance the car. And the titanium ones are less strong because they're not a full titanium. And because if they were, they would snap. But instead of bend. But apparently the titanium coated ones are not as durable as the steel. So I kept the steel. The stock Kyosho bearings, which I'm not running anymore, they lasted me about 5 months easy. They were still rolling good. I could have replaced them before then, but I wanted to see how long they could go and still be smooth. They're a metal shielded bearing. They're really good, in my opinion. These are not the stock turnbuckles on either way. Any of the turnbuckles are not stock. These are the titanium option ones from Kyosho. And I got these once again because the weight is up top more. So I got those. Try to get as much weight from the top minimized as I can. The geometry of this car is amazing. Just how it was built and how it's designed is really, really easy, friendly. It's really easy to drive, user friendly, driver friendly, mechanic friendly. You guys can get a look at the radio tray there. Transponder mount, battery box, receiver box, servo. Comes with mud guards, actually halfway decently thick ones, which is good because not all brands include mud guards, and so I think it's kind of cool that they include them, just because it does save your shock boots, saves your drivetrain, and keeps some of the dirt out of the drivetrain. My biggest thing is it protects the shock boots. It keeps the rocks and stuff from hitting it, or sandblasting it technically. Now these are one of the what the hell options. They've got these right in here for the rear camber links. Those upper ones, I have no idea where the hell you'd even come to use those, man. I use the very bottom one for super high tacky tracks. The one that's in right now for most to all tracks. And the one above it, I don't know what you'd use it for exactly, what the key condition would be, but that would be another option to use. The wing, people have thought the Kyosho wing is one of the better wings from a stock vehicle standpoint. The Mugen guys this year on their MBX7s are actually using the Kyosho wing, and so is the Team Associated RC8 prototype. So, that's kind of a cool thing to add. The wing can be adjusted. Right now it's at the normal downforce. You can put it up to create more drag or downforce to help a little bit on the rougher, not on the rougher tracks, the looser tracks, to try to keep the back end down a little bit more, or tracks that, or like if you got the wind blowing or something, you want something to kind of hold the back end down a little bit. That does the trick, and it's actually, I've actually noticed it, because I've done it quite well. Well, I've done it, and it's actually a noticeable difference. The stock brake system and solid metal brake pads and everything are good. I've still got them on here. This is the stock ones. I have a set of the 30mm vented brake pad, or brake rotors, and I will put them on there probably sometime, but the stock ones work perfectly fine. Kyosho Drivetrain is amazing. This is after 6 months running. I didn't replace the drivetrain at all, and honestly, that little bit of slop you see is not much more than stock. So I've been really surprised with the drivetrain wear and the pin wear on these. The pins actually aren't that much. It's just the outdrives. So that's awesome. The only modification you actually have to do to the car when you first get it, if you're going to run the plastic chassis braces, is cut a hole or drill a hole in the chassis for the clutch bell. Because this chassis does have a lot of flex on how it's machined and stuff, but that's what makes the car so great. So don't try to like take it away if you just don't want to cut the hole. Just cut the hole. Yeah, the stock pistons are really they're good. They're more for a European style track, because that's what Cody King ran his on when he won the World Championship, was in Thailand. And so they tried to make this the spec type of car almost. They're good. I ran them for a good couple months, and then I switched to the 1.3 by 8 hole pistons. So it's a 1.3 hole size hole and 8 holes. The flat straight cut holes, and they're a little bit better through the bumps, people say. I don't really notice a whole bunch of a difference, but in normal driving, but in the bumps you do notice it just a little bit calmer. Not sure if it pushes the oil a different way or something just to make it better, but that's what it does. Setup stuff, once again, the towers all the way in, who would do that? Most people don't even go to the third one in, or the center one, I guess you could say. Most people, I don't think, even really use the outer ones. So it's like, wow, I don't know where people would use these things. So that's pretty much it for that. Oil's 45 in the front with the 1.3 by 8 springs, and wait, making sure it's 45 in case I said 40. I'm not sure. It is 45 in the front with the 1.3 by 8 springs, and it is 32.5 in the rear with the 1.3 by 8 springs. And these orange rear springs, it comes with all light blue, which is the harder of the spring, or harder of these two springs. And this is actually a better investment. This is like said by many Kyosho guys, the magic spring that makes the car like perfect or whatever. It is better. It's another tuning option for me. Most tracks I run the orange springs on the rear. If I've got a really high tech or high grip track, I use all blue all the way around. or if the jumps and stuff aren't really lippy, I'll try to get, a little bit extra pop, and so that's good. I run 28.5 or 28 to 28.5 in the front. I think it's 28.5. Might be 29.5. No, I don't know. It's 28 to 29, somewhere around there should be a good area. Not totally sure what I run because I don't have my setup and I haven't had to set it up in a little while. So, but it is in that general bar park, 28 to 29. The rear is 30. 30. So I think the front is 28.5. Don't mark my words. 100 or 99 millimeters of droop in the front, 118 in the rear. It's a great setup. It's a Cody King's world setup, actually. We're pretty close to it. There's a couple things that are modified just for the tracks in Southern California, stuff like that. Run my I need to tighten that up a little bit. I do run my servo saver tight, and I rely on the flex of the servo saver arm itself to actually be the servo saver. So, in case you guys were wondering about that, but that's it, guys. Parts were on this great. Car handles awesome. Really easy to drive. Really fun to drive. Really fast, but it doesn't feel like you're going fast. It feels like you're in control. It doesn't feel like it's on edge, which is awesome. That's an awesome feeling because that means you can push it that much harder. So thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.